Episode 10. The night is over, but not for us. I don't consider my playthrough complete until I set out to do, or complete everything that I set out to do. I probably already put it in the description, but that includes getting all the notes, and secrets as well. I guess I've already gotten all the secrets, but there are a few things that stand out. Mainly, this question mark. Since the last episode, there's been some time and I've taken the opportunity to look up everything that I was missing or didn't understand. First of all, in the magazine of video game tips, I have everything up to number 20 except number 5, as well as in the memos from the staff. I have everything up to number 40 except for number 10, number 14, number 33, and 38. I've taken the time to memorize their location so I can collect them here, and I guess I can save over my save file here just so that I have a complete memo. I'll also be getting that question mark. Luckily I have the running shoes, so this should be pretty quick. This isn't going to be the main content of the episode though, so I'll try to rush through as much as I can, so we can get to the good stuff. First of all, memo number 5 for tips and tricks is not available in hard mode. It would be right here on the wall, and I guess I'll collect it in the latter part of this video just for the sake of completion in this playlist. But there's no way for me to complete the tips and tricks guidebook in a hard mode playthrough. As long as I get it on video though, I suppose it'll be fine. I'll explain that one a little bit later when I get to it, but it's something that can only happen in normal mode or below, I guess. Maybe even not on exploration mode. Now the things that I'm missing are in each corner of the facility, but luckily I think there are no more enemies at night. Number 14, somehow I missed this on the far wall. I probably looked at it and thought I already got it. If you're doing maintenance in the Haunted Manor, or trying to access Ocean Kingdom, you'll need the crank handle. It's locked in the safe in the southeast utility corridor. The code for the safe is something to do with the crypt, I think. This of course points us to the crank, but there was also one other note which I think pointed to the crank somewhere in the vicinity of Haunted Hilltop. Next note I'm missing is down this corridor. Should be careful not to walk over anything, although at this point there's no more danger other than the traps themselves. Next thing I was missing was one of these notes on the walls. Maybe I got one and I thought I got both or something. Yes, here it is, number 10. If a swan breaks down, just take the egg out of its wheel system. Doing so disables the radio signal and locks the wheel until you can get a mechanic out to fix it. Again, pointing towards controlling the swan using the egg stuff, but there was already another note that pointed that. In fact, this same note. I guess they give you 2 notes to, I don't know, more completely tell you what you have to do. I had everything I needed with note number 11 though. There's no achievement for getting all the notes, thankfully, because I would find myself at an impasse, especially in hard mode, but also for another reason. No more enemies, just corpses on the ground. Kind of weird. Now the other thing I was missing was in the arcade. I spent an entire episode here, and I completely ignored this, I guess. Number 38. Some of the kids were complaining that their high scores weren't being saved. I guess the machines reset their scores every time we turn them off. I don't know if that's supposed to happen, but I'm not going to fix it. It gives the kids a reason to keep coming back. Of course, my scores are reset already. I guess after you leave the room and come back, they reset. But I guess that was just a hint to tell you that you can reset all the scores by turning off the power and turning it back on. A quick way to reset everything if you, I don't know, didn't want to go to each individual machine and reset them. I think all the scores reset as soon as you get one thing wrong, so it's not that hard to reset. And the last thing that I have to visit is over here. The mysterious puzzle that I never solved, the soda machine. I guess I never came back to it because I got all 15 secrets, even though this was marked as a question mark on the map, indicating some kind of secret. Of course, all the other... Oh, I guess there are still enemies about. You get the special gun. Yes, I never came back here because I thought I already had all the secrets. None of the other secrets were marked with a question mark on the map. In fact, I'm not sure why the question mark is marked here other than for the convenience of the player. I don't think we got any note that pointed us towards this. But the solution was right in front of me. Fruits are friends. It was more than just set dressing. It's the solution to the puzzle. Grape, lime, pineapple, strawberry, bottom to top. It's a chalkboard. Mr. Crow keeps extra treasure maps in the wooden bureau in his lounge. The code is 8891. And that, of course, points to the very first, I guess, secret that you could say that we found. Or at least, the first unsolvable puzzle that we found. I'm quite lacking in terms of skill. But I have the Magnum. I guess there are just no more enemies in the main thoroughfare. There was a quicker way here, wasn't there? Yeah, I went the long way. Could have gone through the staff hallway. Huh, that's the first death I've gotten. Well, that's a shame. Although I did confirm one interesting thing. You cannot, even with the running shoes, run under those traps. I thought it might be possible, but it's not. Well, I was resolved to make this quick, but obviously that's not going to be the case. I was thinking this episode might be a special one longer than usual, but who knows. It also confirms one other thing. When you die, you're forced to reload a save, old school style, unless you turn on that extra lives option, I suppose. Yeah, this way. I guess I really was killed by these running shoes. They're really only meant for players that know what they're doing, not me. Running this fast in a survival horror game is probably a bad idea with all these traps around. Would be interesting though if you could get these shoes a bit earlier, like for speedrunning. You need to get the silver key, which you get pretty late, right here in fact. I already have the code, so I don't need to do this, but it is to clear it off my map, which I guess doesn't get cleared off until you actually enter the code. Almost forgot about you. This way, right? Yeah. And the item we were missing all along, taunting us from here. I completely forgot about this when I went to finish the game, but lo and behold, it's a map of all the secrets. Now we know where the secrets are. Haha. I am glad they include this in the game though. You get it towards the end of the game and it helps you check off everything you were missing, in case you were maybe not diligent in getting everything you can, or you forgot what you might have left behind. But because it wasn't actually part of the 15 count for the secrets themselves, I guess I completely ignored it. The next thing we'll be tackling is going to be in a different playthrough, although I guess I could do it in this same one. It'd probably make more sense to do it now that there are less enemies around, at least less enemies in the main areas. But it'll be the same situation not too long from now, hopefully. We'll go ahead and save. Over file 2. It was a pretty tough night, Mara, wasn't it? Or should I say Elaine? But what if the night wasn't so tough? What if instead of Murder of Crows difficulty, we were on survival horror instead? I don't consider my playthrough complete until I have gotten all of the bonus items, at least for this game. And that includes getting an S rank, which might be possible on Murder of Crows, but I don't really trust myself to do that, especially after I showed how unsafe I am, running into a trap so blatantly. Watch the opening cutscene again. If anyone asks, my name is Mara. Mara Forrest. Special Agent Forrest. That's me. Don't forget. Don't mess it up. What read in the first time we played through as a self-introduction to the player was actually Mara's, or Elaine's, inner monologue, telling herself to use this alias and not forget it, not mess up the usage of the alias. Of course, so that she could get the information that she needed from the people involved here. And so that they wouldn't recognize her, hence the dyed hair as well. Everyone in the park knows the infamous Elaine Marshall incident. But tonight, we're not going to be Elaine Marshall. No. For tonight, Elaine the Crow joins the hunt. Caw caw. Other than a nice hat and a cool crossbow makeover for our pistol, we do get one more interesting thing. Infinite ammo. The reports about what exactly you need for an S rank are conflicting, or at least I couldn't find a consistent source, or consistency between the sources. But they all pretty much say use less healing items somewhere around 3 and 10 or something like that. As well as not dying or something like that. I think also kills might matter, but that might only be on Murder of Crows difficulty. Now during this playthrough, I will have on my phone a map of all of the collectible crows that are also added in. I could come back and get these later, but it might be more efficient to do this now. I'll be trying to go through this as quickly as I can. I don't think time matters for S rank, at least not on normal mode. Some of the item locations are still fresh in my mind from last time. This early on, I suppose we don't have to worry about traps or anything like that. Not really. Handgun laser sight, interestingly, not a secret. I think the laser sights for the other weapons are. And here's what we were missing. Tips and tricks number 5. Vending machines and trash cans may provide you with supplies if you're running low. You can also get the handgun ammo from the trunk of your car. This was a note I was missing, and I think I theorized in a previous episode that it would point out that you could get ammo from trash, but of course I never got the note itself. I believe it's discluded from hard mode for the reason of the second part of the note being untrue in hard mode, not being able to get handgun from the trunk of your car. I tested it out, and it seems like there's no respawning ammo in the trunk of the car in hard mode. In this mode, you could always run back to the car and get 8 more handgun bullets, but that's all you get, even though there's infinite ammo there. It's kind of like a more useful trash can, I suppose. Hate that guy. There should be a crow in here. There you are. I guess you can also technically soft lock yourself in the beginning of the game, not in normal mode, with the infinite ammo being there, but you need 1 bullet at least to break the lock. If you shoot all 8 ammo that you get from hard mode at the beginning of the game, and miss the lock every time for whatever reason, then you would never be able to get past the gate, hence soft locking yourself in the parking lot. Of course, you can just restart the game there, but I guess it's still technically a soft lock. And here's the other thing I was missing. These were all mysteriously broken in hard mode, but I guess it's a hint machine that tells you where to go. You have 10 credits remaining. Would you like to hear your fortune? No. I guess I never needed the hint system, though. There was always something to explore. consulting my map. One more crow I'm missing. There you are. What are you doing up there? And in this area, 2 more. These boxes probably have less chance to give you ammo or whatever, depending on how much you have. I don't have the exact location of the crows, just a general one. Might take a little bit of hunting at least. Says it should be right here though. Right here towards the front. There you are. I'm very much a walk, don't run kind of player. For the most part. As you can see, I get myself killed when I run too much. There's the other. Good thing I have infinite ammo. Could be wrong about the S rank though. You might not be able to use bonus items. I think that only counts on hard mode against you. Speaking of, there's also something I got for getting a B rank, which I guess is the lowest rank. The crowbar. You can use it for melee, it's not very good. I guess you can skip a lot of things now that you already know the codes. Let's see, another crow in the back corner, and also in Cosmic Future. But first, that will probably spawn in the enemy, of course. Maybe I should have waited to do that. But Elaine the crow isn't afraid of enemies. I am, but Elaine isn't. Another thing, interesting, not allowed to smoke. That's of course because she's 17 or something. More foreshadowing. Plenty of foreshadowing, which I didn't linger too much on in my playthrough. But it was there. Feels like it would ruin the magic though if you say it too loud or too often. Or if I said it too often. So I mostly kept quiet. It's not like I 100% knew that she was Elaine in the first place, but it felt like that was where everything was leading. Next room over, corridor has 1 crow. And it also has our first instance of enemies. Doesn't seem very strong, the crossbow. It is the basic pistol after all. The crow hat, of course, I didn't mention it, you get from beating hard mode. So I guess this is our kind of victory lap for doing that our first time through. We get to go through super easy. Guess you can't interact with that until you're done. I don't think saves count against me, so I'll try to use these liberally, considering I might rush again and kill myself. Staring into the flames, I feel something. It's a curious mixture of hope and dread. Maybe everything will be okay, and maybe it won't. We'll keep our playthrough on file 1 here. That curious mixture of hope and dread, of course, alludes to the survival horror nature of the game, but it's also the theming of, I guess, what you get into later on. Everything with Edward Crowe and the machine that transports people from the future. Maybe everything will be okay and maybe it won't. Dread for the future and all that. Do the crows show up on the map? No, only the ones you've collected. I see. Now, no spiders spawn here. I don't remember if they hurt me the first time through. That's weird. No spiders. Maybe because I didn't check the note or something? Oh, surely enemies have spawned. There we are. Elaine the Crow doesn't worry about conserving ammo. The only thing she worries about is her kill count. Of course, we know that from the lore. All of these guys are just peaceful people that are hurting us by mistake, trying to lightly grab us. Perhaps some of the damage that we take is owing to Elaine's infection. These things are only lightly tapping her or something like that, but she takes more damage due to how sick she is. It's all questionable how out and about she is due to her sickness. Don't need the handgun ammo. I'll collect it nonetheless. We don't need to do the puzzle. We know the truth. If I pause every now and again, perhaps it's obvious, but I'm checking my map. What state do we start in anyway? Fine. Oh. The hat appears in the menu. Of course it would. Why wouldn't it? Ophelia. This was... Right, I forgot about this note. Ophelia is the person that we find in the crypt. This would of course be from Douglas Pike, the builder. They were going to build a future-based attraction. What was it called? Cosmic Future or something like that. But they never got around to it. Of course, that was also foreshadowing in its own right, to the fact that the future was something that was destroyed. 2106, people coming back from it, trying to stop it before it was too late. All allegorical to something that we can probably relate to in real life. People in the pursuit of self-interest, destroying the future for people after them. Cutting up the antenna of the machine that would save the future Just for a little bit of gold. Gold that they have no reason to use. Very backrooms-esque feeling, that room. Still don't remember how this opens up. I guess it'll open up later. That would be useful because that gives you the handgun upgrade, more damage. I think that would upgrade the crossbow as well, presumably. Interestingly about the upgrades. They are all different. The handgun gets a damage upgrade, but that's pretty much the only one that gets that kind of upgrade. Shotgun gets, usefully, more capacity. And the greatest weakness of the flamethrower, its range, gets upgraded. While the Magnum doesn't really get anything, because it's already so powerful. All it gets is a makeover, which is pretty cool. Where's the crow here? There you are. Actually, I don't really recall what the dig site is in this whole operation. When I first started the game, I guess I assumed it was where they were digging the gold out of, but they have other avenues to move that up from the underground. So what's this for, anyway? Maybe correlates to something underground. I'll have to check. Our first encounter with the big guy. Let's see. Of course, the handgun isn't very strong from far away in the first place. So I guess this isn't a omnipotent tool for a speedrun or whatever. This way. Next we have 2 crows and a couple of corners. We also have our friend. I think it was around here. That's where my map says. Ah, there you are. And of course, I guess this is probably the first time you encounter Julie in the game, but they already know each other. Hence why her name appears as Julie rather than a question mark. We'll come back to it later. Well, guess we don't have to worry about walking into that ourselves now. And one more, somewhere. left. There you are. There's probably a maximum amount of, ammo that you can get. I guess I never hit this cap. Yes, I know. I wondered if you could break that. This game, of course, obviously, has the kind of design that lets you use your future knowledge at your own discretion. It's always very fun, that. Goes in this room. Just one. There you are. I forgot. Fade. Even with infinite ammo, I should stock up on these kinds of things. If that big spindly guy was any indication, I'll need it. Wasn't there something else here? What's that code for? The map I'm using also helpfully includes all the codes and everything. What would also be interesting is doing a no-kill run, I guess except for the final boss, which is required. Oh yes, that gunshot. I didn't realize it the first time, but I guess it would be Douglas Pike. Shame that we only find it about a second too late. Really? How am I missing? This would be the first time that I assumed Mara was Elaine, at least more committed to the idea anyway. Didn't say it out loud, but the line Douglas Pike delivers at the end, Elaine Marshall, I hope she doesn't forgive us, or something like that. It was very indicative how important Elaine was to the story, more than we knew already. Oh, and I only just noticed that other detail. Guess all these pictures of the woman here are Ophelia, who has a kind of dedication to her in the crypt. She was of course a nurse, so maybe Douglas Pike had some kind of soft spot in his heart for people in the hospital, and knowing what he had to do with Elaine Marshall's cover-up, or what the park had to do with it, he just couldn't take it. Just a theory, anyway. Crows in the staff hallway. I guess I should go back to that other room so I can clear out that secret. Can't open that gate without clearing out the secret. Now I theorized that it might be possible to save the police officer if you talk to him more, but it seems like he might be a required death by the game, for the sake of the story. What I was surprised to learn was that Natalie Crow and other characters can die depending on your actions. I guess I should have guessed though, since you have to use items on them, and you can't guarantee that you'll have items. In here? There's a crow somewhere. But as I realized before, this map isn't exactly accurate, at least this part of the map. The staff hallway specifically. Where it says you go up, you go left instead. That one that we just got, in the upper left of the staff hallway, doesn't really correspond to our physical location, now does it? Not a complaint, just an observation. Right, let's go get that secret. Magnum memo, I believe it was. It'll also let us open up the shortcut without blocking off the secret. Guess I should have gone through this room in the first place after all. But you don't really have to come back here until you can actually open up the doors with a data disk. Actually, you don't even need the acid. You can ignore getting the acid bottle and I guess ignore this room entirely. Because you can use the flamethrower instead. Just a little small shortcut. Maybe not even a shortcut. There was a crow in that room that I missed. I'll have to go back. There are going to be enemies in there, I remember. Yep. Another one. I thought there was a bigger one. Can we get it from the bars? Looks like we can. Maybe. Don't tell me we have to actually get in there. My laser sight seems to go through just fine. Well, I guess we'll come back here for the acid anyway. You do need the acid to get all the secrets, so that's non-negotiable for me. I should save more often, in case I take damage. I can't really use health kits if I make a mistake. So whenever I make a mistake, I'll just have to reload a save. These guys are pretty fast, so I think I'd make a mistake here. Might be too far away. In my head, Elaine the Crow isn't afraid of enemies. But because of how afraid I am, she's going to be rather waffly. Oh, I got him. I thought there might be a draw distance or something. I guess the crowbar would be useful for breaking these in a playthrough you don't have infinite ammo. Crowbar is probably something you get before infinite ammo with this costume. Normally. He says he didn't know what they were for, but the first guess that he got, they told him what he wrote down on the note, which was a pretty clear indication of what happens in 2106. Perhaps he's saying that he didn't know at first what the roots were for, but even after he got the warning somewhere around halfway cutting them down, he just continued anyway, digging a deeper hole for the people that would come after him, not caring about what would happen. Until it was too late anyway. For posterity indeed. Not building something to last, that guy. Should be a crow here, right? Crow in every room. Sometimes two crows. There you are. Hiding backstage. You're not supposed to be here. I can stop picking up shotgun ammo once I have the maximum amount, but I don't know that number. I should go save. More enemies, right? Anyone respawn? Maybe not until we progress further in the crypt. Spiders, maybe? Guess not. I'm really hoping this only counts against us in hard mode. Other thing I want to do in this playthrough, as much as I can, is talk to Harrison. I guess I already read this, but just for the sake of a refresher, since I barely ever talked to this guy in my original playthrough. Excuse me, miss, you really shouldn't be wandering around here. Why not? It's not safe. Would you like me to escort you out? Are you a police officer? Police Detective Harrison James. I was supposed to be here hours ago, but some kid broke into my car this morning. Some kid in a crow mask for some reason. Little punk slashed my tires too. They look okay to me. No, they slashed my car tires. I had to borrow the bike because I couldn't use my car. Probably Elaine's bike, right? She mentioned when you pick up the chain that they look like the chain on her bike. Well, I assume it's Elaine's bike. Maybe she biked over to Harrison's and, I don't know, drove out? Oh, right, duh. I didn't catch your name. Oh, right, sorry, I'm Mara. Aha, so that's your car out front? The 85 Fiesta? Yeah? How did you know? I met your boyfriend. He said he was waiting for you. Oh my god. He's not my... Never mind, it doesn't matter. Haha. You're blushing. Again, the blushing also. Perhaps foreshadowing to Mara/Elaine's youth. Someone who's 25 probably wouldn't blush so much at that, but it's not like I'm an expert. Who knows? No, I'm not. Shut up. Actually, Mara, maybe you can help me. I was supposed to meet up with a woman, a Miss Natalie Crow. You haven't seen her around, have you? As far as I know, she's early 20s, blonde hair. I imagine you could not tell him, and that would probably be more in line with what Elaine's trying to do to throw Harrison off the trail. If Harrison runs into Natalie, then they might talk and Harrison would realize that, or Natalie would realize that Harrison was the one that was supposed to come here tonight, and despite what Mara said, he's somehow, I don't know, snooping around. Yeah, I saw her. She was in the staff hallway, outside Edward Crow's office. Oh great, thanks a lot. I need to go find Miss Crow, but I'm going to ask you to go back to your car, okay? It's not safe here. You need to go home. Sure, I was just on my way out, more or less. Glad to hear it. You be safe now, okay? I really didn't think he was going to show up. Because if Harrison meets Natalie, and they talk, he'd probably realize that the person that Natalie talked to on the phone was Harrison, if I'm understanding their dialogue correctly. And Mara fed Natalie a story that she came in because Harrison had car troubles. Again, more foreshadowing. Hello? I'll read this one again just because it's interesting knowing the ending. I've been thinking. It must have been on purpose. The timing, I mean. 2 years ago? 1988. It must have been some sort of intersection. A critical pivoting point, if you will. Late enough that we've developed the necessary infrastructure. Early enough that early enough so as to not be too late, I suppose. I was wondering if the necessary infrastructure he referred to was about the park or something like that. By knowing the ending of the game, it's probably relating to the infrastructure of society as a whole, that the people came back in time before it was too late to change things in the future, but late enough in the timeline that there's enough things like the internet and other infrastructure to fix things. But all that went downhill, I guess. Oh, maybe it'll be okay. And maybe it won't. And in this room, Crow in the back corner. I guess I might as well save if they don't count against me. Suppose I should ration these. Just in case they do. After all, I'm not 100% certain on the requirements. I should fill that thing with gasoline. Of course, if I come back for that gasoline on the floor, it'll have despawned, won't it? I made the same mistake in my first playthrough. Oh well, there'll be more gasoline. And I probably won't use the flamethrower too often. Now this was open. I can get the crows and the mushroom. Now here I could get the upgrade. Just checking my notes again. Still don't know how this puzzle is supposed to work with safe mushrooms and dangerous mushrooms. You still have to eat all the dangerous mushrooms, so it doesn't really matter which ones are safe. I guess all you get is the knowledge that you're definitely going to take damage when you eat a dangerous mushroom if you know it's 100% dangerous. But I think I'll save this. You're required, in order to get an S rank, I think, all the secrets, so I'm going to have to do this eventually. And this means you're required to eat up some health kits, so that's also going to count against your ranking. You only get so many after all. But if I need those health kits to cover up any mistakes that I make, I'll want to wait to eat those mushrooms until later, when I don't have to worry about health kits. But that'll be later. I'm not doing this in the most efficient way possible. Harrison James Pike. I tried this the other time, but I couldn't find Harrison. Oh, I could at least open the shortcut. Almost forgot. Where he could be wandering about, I'm not sure. I guess I could check the save room. Never tried shooting this guy. Guess he's dead already. Might have guessed. Is Harrison in Cosmic Future? No. Are enemies back in the utility corridor? Doesn't look like it. And no Harrison either. Well, whatever. I was wondering if I could get through this fast enough that I don't have to come back here, or that I don't have to take multiple episodes to get through this playthrough. But I should have known with the speed that I play, even on a second run, it was going to take a while. Before the night gets too late, now would be a good time to take a break.